All right, let's see. We got that button. We got that button. All right. I've answered all the questions. So don't ask me any questions today because they've already been answered. All of them. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I don't even see the other. I don't even put up the other chat anymore. Meg, it doesn't even matter. Peace. Peace, man. That's Meg. She's awesome. All right. We're gonna talk AI. We're gonna talk about the war on cash. It's not just a war on crypto. It's the dumbest, one of the most illogical, one of the most flawed, logically flawed arguments ever. Which broker does? You know what? You got to ask them. Hit them up. But I know it's not the one that just got nuked today. So yeah, and they use a variety of OTC desks. They're not just with one facility, but I know they're not iTrust or Prime or any of those other D-bags. Anyway, it is what it is. All right. Are you here every Tuesday? I don't know. Found Treasures, I'm not sure where you are. I don't know where you are every Tuesday and Thursday because you can watch replays. You can watch replays from anywhere. Anyway, okay. We're going to talk AI news, which there's some good AI news. We're going to talk the war on money. We're going to talk tech layoffs. So, man, lots going on. We'll maybe take a quick look at the markets, but they're not super interesting. Nothing really interesting has been happening, but I will go through. Bam. 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 Look at that. Pew, 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 pew. Let's see if we can get through all of them. Hello. 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 Michael, Shantae, Conan. We're almost there. We almost did it. Yes. Bitcoin candy. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Let's see. Do I have any personal news? Well, only I will be, it won't change anything, still be broadcasting, but from June 22nd to June 27th, the broadcasts will be from Playa del Carmen. Say what? Yeah, that's right. You heard it. So if you find yourself in Playa del Carmen and you want to come hang out, hit me up. Okay, let's do this. Let's get into the AI news first because it's pretty cool. Then I've got the opinion piece. Then we've got the layoff numbers because AI. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm not going to comment on a thing I don't know about. I don't know about it, and I do not care about it. It's not interesting to me. I don't know why people say, please, Thomas, please comment on asymptotic freedom in gluons at high particle energies of over 100 giga electron volts. Ready, go. No one cares. Stop asking about random stuff. If you're curious about it, go look it up. Do your 5 T's. Say 5 T's. I don't want to actually do homework. I don't want to do work. I go on internet so that I will not have to do any kind of work. No, do it. Look at the team. Look at the timing. Look at the token. Look at, like, why does the token exist? Look at the tokenomic structure. Who owns what? Who gets what? Are there lockups? Look at the technology. Is it old, garbage, bullcrap? Is it a bridge currency when we don't need bridge currencies? And then you might say, oh, the technology is like not so good. The timing might be too late. Like, do the work yourself. If you're on the interwebs doing anything other than research, you have already failed, bro. Please comment. Get off the gas. You decide if you like it or not and buy it or not. People, man, don't outsource lazy. And then don't think that the asking of a bunch of questions settles it. No, you got to go do the homework. Everybody here has to go do the homework. I didn't get rich watching YouTube videos. I got rich just asking questions. And then when I didn't get answers, I went and did my own research. You have to do your own research. Why do you think DYOR? Why do you see that everywhere? We use it so much. It's got its own little, like, come on, man. Don't be lazy. And don't think that just asking rando questions, you're outsourcing your research. Don't outsource your research. This is not just you, Thomas. This is everybody. Don't outsource your research. Don't find some trusted individual and believe what they say. They could have all sorts of biases. They could have all sorts of interests, perverse or otherwise, agendas. Man, people will step on your neck to steal your wallet while your feet are on fire. No one cares. You got to do the work. All right, there you go. There's the rant, the ranty sermon. Okay, let's talk AI news. Let's do markets first because the AI stuff is like all the rest of it. So let's do some market stuff first. How about? And then we'll backtrack to AI. Okay, what's going on in the markets? A whole bunch of not much. Bitcoin still, a lot of these tokens are still kind of sloshing around after the beating they took a few days ago when the SEC filed day to day, day after day, back to back, day to back to day, whatever. Back to back days, back to back indictments, although completely different. Both of them civil, by the way. There's nothing criminal. I do think at some point the criminal stuff will be levered or aimed at CZ. Again, just to recap, there's a reason why the community has called him Sleazy CZ for years. And this is a reason why a few weeks ago, I was saying how upset I was that Cogito chose to launch on BNB chain because it is things that launch on Binance are typically scammy, typically. Now, you could also say things that launch on Ethereum are typically scammy. Well, things that are, if it's easy to launch something, douchebags and scammers get on there. But it turns out that more douchebags and more scammers find their way to Pancake Swap and Binance. So anyway, the other side of it too is you don't see Vitalik Buterin out there pumping douchebag coins. You do see CZ doing it. He was doing it a lot in the early days of DeFi, all this DeFi crap. He was really pumping it. And then when one of the projects would implode or there'd be a rug pull and the developers would take all the money and run, CZ would just go erase tweets. Oh, it never happened. I have a big forehead. It never happened. Like, what? I don't know, man. So because, like the internet's pretty much permanent. Just because you erase a tweet doesn't make it go away. So you think someone that made all their money off internet money would understand that, but he does not. And so we affectionately labeled him Sleazy CZ. Now, CZ is not a thief, but he's definitely a scumbag. And he doesn't steal directly. He steals kind of through these perverse gambling in the same way that casinos steal from idiots and lotteries steal from idiots. It's a dummy tax. Casinos are a dummy tax. Binance is mostly a dummy tax. If anybody here can explain to me why people need 120x leverage, like any human has the competency to trade 120x leverage. No, man. No, my friend, no. So anyway, things that launch on Binance are scammy for the most part, and whatever. So the markets are still absorbing this, but there's a greater war on cash. Every time there's a currency, instead of going after the crime, it's easy. Let's just go after the money. The money is the criminal. Well, not really. Anyway, there's a good opinion piece I'm going to read here in a bit about that. We'll get to it. Okay. As far as the crypto space, really flat. 0.2. So most of the damage over the last couple of days has kind of been absorbed. And some of the tokens are starting to melt back a little bit. You don't really see a lot of kind of interesting activity right now. Everything's pretty quiet. I'm certainly not in the bottom calling business since the Sir Mix-a-Lot days, but like it definitely feels a lot safer to invest right now, or at least to look at. That's right, your dollar cost averaging strategies right now. It looks a lot better. So to me, it makes sense. But it's got to make sense to you. My chair's too high. Hold on. Oh, you know why it's too high? I was playing Population 1, and I put my chair up because sometimes when I'm lazy, I just sit in my chair because it's a spinning chair, and I just spin around and shoot people. If you play Population 1 and you want some of this, come on in. Go into the private. Go into any of the Battle Royale or the Death Match is actually where you'll find me. And just look for Dr. Voodoo, and you will absolutely get melted. Anyway, it is what it is. So what I would say is this: DCA, dollar cost averaging is what everybody should be doing. If you've done your 5 T's and you think that the assets that you're going to dollar cost average into have a good team, have good timing, a good tokenomic structure, the technology makes sense, and when you ask yourself why token, you can answer that. Now, if you can't, don't own it. Also, if you haven't read at least the abstract of the white paper, which is like a paragraph, don't buy it. If you don't know what it does, don't buy it. Crypto Gamer, what up? Bitcoin ordinals. Ugh, good luck, man. I hope you're making money, but just understand that you're DGen gambling. So it's not really making, I mean, that's like saying I'm making money gambling. I mean, cool. That's cool. But you're not making money. You're just gambling. You're taking money from somebody else. Although, I guess to an extent, investing is the same thing. It's just veterans waiting to hoover up money. You're not, let me just put it this way. You will absolutely never retire wealthy gambling. I'll leave it at that. And you take what you want from that. Whatever lesson, you can look back later. Joseph, what's going on, buddy? Yes, they are thieves. There is a lot of stealing. The other thing, oh God, they did a lot of dirty stuff. I'm not going to get into some of the things Binance has done, but if they looked deeper, they're going to find a lot of problems at Binance. And it is what it is. Rod, what's going on? Okay. So just be careful. All of you, be careful. Look, people are going to do what they're going to do. People made some money off of Pepe coin. Does anybody here think Pepe coin was a good investment? Anybody here? If you do, cool. You're wrong, but everybody is entitled to an opinion, even if it's a dumb one. Let's see, Jamie, what's going on? Your opinion, how risky is yield farming? I don't touch yield farming, bro. The problem is someone with big money can come in and pervert those pools. There's all sorts of ways. I mean, I don't know that they would, but I'm just not a fan of yield farming. Like, what are you really farming? Arbitrage, inequity, illiquidity between assets? That's not a market I want to farm. That's like going to a fat camp and fat farming. Oh, well, Richard weighs 270 and Cindy weighs 230. There's 40 pounds of fat that I can arbitrage. Nope. No. I'm not going to participate. Okay, I don't know enough about the Trezor. Okay, so this is Rod is asking, with all the news on the Ledger hack, do you think it'd be wise to switch over to Trezor for the best custody? I don't know. I use a Engrave, just like it sounds, Engrave N0, and so I have 2 Ledgers. I don't use them anymore. I didn't like Ledger Live, felt clunky to me, and I'm thumbing in this crap and all this kind of stuff. So I was just never a big fan of Ledger. So I never leveraged Ledger. So I don't know if that helps you, but I use the Engrave N0. If you got more than $500 in the crypto space, get an Engrave. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me anything. I didn't even get a t-shirt. Carlos, what's going on, buddy? All right. I hope that everybody is just careful, right? Like, just be careful. You'll notice there's no sales. We're not selling anything here. I don't get, why do you think I don't really care if people, you like the video, you don't like the video? 0 F's given. Why? That's not the point. God, the idea is if we make more intelligent investors, not traders, trading, we're not going to save you, but investors, people that look 15 to 18 months into the future, and that's where their mind is at. If we improve the aggregate intellect, then it makes the space better for everyone. If the idea is farming a bunch of idiots or, some Ponzi-nomic type thing where, more dummies will come in and they will be my exit liquidity. That's not a system that you can't, maybe you can sleep at night, but that's not the way that you want to say, that's how I got rich, or that's how I got wealth. Or how about just, that's how I got to have an extra 10K a month, which is what would make the average American feel like they were a multimillionaire. You have the same happiness. Okay, so you can't buy all the same Rolexes and Jacob and Company watches or whatever with all the crap going on in the middle of them, but like, you have the same happiness. So everybody here, I think, should try to get like an extra 10K a month per family member. Do that and make your life better. I still only spend $100 a day. That's my limit. So like what I do is I have shakes throughout the day. I have coffee in the morning. That's like $5.70. And then sometimes I'll have the lemon bread, which is like another, so it's like $8.90. So it's $9. So I can spend $91 throughout the day. That is all I spend. And that is all I'm going to say about that. It doesn't matter. You can achieve a high level of like happiness and well-being for not a lot of money. I order almost, except for my shoes, which are my shoes and my car, but we rent out all of our cars. I don't pay anything for my cars. If I had to pay, I would not be driving Lambos and McLarens and stuff like that. It wouldn't make any sense. I monetize those. The only thing I spend money frivolously on, I have some frivolity, is shoes. I got about 4. Oh, you don't even want to know. I like when Gucci and Adidas linked up, I got some of those, a whole bunch. Anyway, and looking back, that's probably stupid, but they're badass. So whatever, it's a vice. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I buy my Gucci's. It is what it is. All right. Protein mix is getting expensive. Buy the stuff, John, buy Premier Protein from Costco. Not an ad. And if you're lactose intolerant, you might want to check with your whatever. Does people have like a special lactose gluten doctor now that do we have like woke doctors? I don't know. Anyway, I know, right? Imelda. No. I don't have 200 pairs. I probably have 20. I don't know. I don't want to add it up. $800 a shoe, 800. God, that does sound terrible now that I think about it. I'm going to go. I'm not going to light them on fire. Anyway, no. Listen, everybody make money any way you can. I don't hate on anyone. You got to make money any way you can. And I want everybody to have a great life and feel good, because guess what? There is a war. No, the quality is great. They're delicious and great. God, we're off topic. So what? Who cares? Happiness is the topic. We're going to switch gears. Let's talk AI. The reason we're going to talk AI, okay, let's do this. We're going to go AI news, AI layoffs, and then we're going to do the opinion piece, the attack on money. How about that? Hemp protein, vomit. Hashtag vomit. All right, let's go and let's talk money. And if we're talking money, this is opinions. So don't get whatever your undergarments are in a twist. These are opinions, man.
Yeah, Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Okay, first we're going to talk AI news because it's pretty flippin' funny. A man sues ChatGPT over false information. Here we go. Of course, it's a radio host from Georgia named somebody. I'm not going to give him any attention because he's doing this for attention because he's not that interesting. Anyway, he's suing OpenAI over claims made by ChatGPT that he embezzled funds from a gun rights nonprofit. Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. I'm not going to get into it, but all you need to know is in that question. Some dude from Georgia is suing OpenAI over claims made by a large language model that's a next word predictor sitting on a bunch of data that floats around the internet that he embezzled funds from a gun rights nonprofit. You want to guess which side of the aisle he's on? Anyone? Anyone want to take? I'll give you 45 guesses to get that right. Anyway, so he filed a lawsuit alleging that ChatGPT damaged his reputation, and it must have been like just golden before this. Anyway, while it may be challenging to prove that an AI chatbot harmed this guy's reputation in court, the lawsuit could have implications as the tool continues to generate false claims. Oh my God, it's next word prediction, you hillbilly dummies. God, and I don't mean anyone here because the people that I'm guessing listen to his radio show don't use smartphones. I bet they're still using Blackberries or like rotary phones. Like whenever they call you, they're like click, 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 click. Like, God, man. Anyway, the suit from this genius alleges that ChatGPT published false materials implicating him in a case where he had no involvement. Weird. The AI even generated completely fabricated pages and inaccurately cited case numbers. Here's what happened. This dude is farming popularity. He's just wants more listeners. Good for him. Maybe it's a PR junket. Who knows? Maybe his publicity people are like, listen, we can use this. Remember those dumbass lawyers that didn't fact check in Florida? Okay, cool. We're close to Florida. We're here in Georgia. It could happen, right? It happened in Florida. It could happen here. Oh, God. Anyway, good news for the lawyers out there that scared AI will take your jobs. AI seems to be very good at data collection. However, apparently they're still citing, here's what it is. There are hallucinations in data. If there is incongruent data and these next word predictors get into case law, if you don't use, there's like 3 law plugins that clear all this up. But most people don't understand what plugins are because they don't understand what AI is. And remember, only 1 in 4 people over the age of 50 has even used ChatGPT. You want to guess what this radio guy's demographic is? Do you think it's below 50 or above 50? My guess is people take out their dentures, swig Geritol, and then listen to this dude's show. So like, while they sip lemonade and like, come on, man. These people, God, it's not ageist. Age is where your head's at. Same thing with rich and poor and wealth. These are mindsets. None of this stuff is fixed. It's all mindsets. No, Michael, what you have to say is you don't say hallucinating. You say misremembering. That's apparently the omnibus get out of perjury free card. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I must have misremembered that. Anyway, an AI-powered chatbot. Chat is new. AI-powered chat is new, and we're going to get these kind of hallucinations. These things will get better over time. It is what it is. But I think they are valuable AF. Okay. Alpha Dev, just like it sounds. Alpha Dev solves algorithms faster than humans. So DeepMind, which is what's left of Google's AI branch, the people that weren't fired or laid off, has just presented Alpha Dev, a reinforcement learning agent that can discover faster sorting algorithms on its own. Good. I woke up yesterday and I was like, my sorting algorithms are too slow. Anyway, Their advanced computer science algorithms outperform decades of human benchmarks from engineers and scientists. Well, that should be frustrating if you are one of them, and that's your career, and you're like, well, crap. Anyway, these new algorithms are already part of the standard C++ coding libraries and are being used trillions of times per day by programmers worldwide. None of them seem to be suing ChatGPT. Anyway, whatever. In addition, Alpha Dev also has demonstrated the potential in enhancing other essential computer science algorithms, such as hashing. You guys understand the way it works is if AI starts fine-tuning AI, then things happen on a much faster, more truncated timeline. And where I'm very excited is when we get to biology, where we can take the whole standard model of biology and understanding, and we can go, okay, cool. Here's particle physics and quantum physics and special relativity and how it relates and the tenets of general relativity and wave equations and the implications of Schrodinger's cat and Heisenberg. Okay, and we can put all of biology, all of it, into a system, and we can correctly map it. Now, the time doesn't mean anything, and these AI systems can run intense evolutionary experiments in very, very tiny. They can run trillions of simulations in real time, truncated, so you can get a lot of data. It's going to be the ability, how it's processing. It's going to be processing, which is another reason why I think what True AGI is doing with their chip, their NPMU, and the new CPU, the nonlinear processing unit, nonlinear processing core unit, whatever that Simuli is doing, and they're working on a motherboard, which is badass. Anyway, that's going to be super important moving forward. Anyway, this all represents a very significant step towards AI optimizing the world's code, one algo at a time, as they say. And then finally, WordPress releases an AI text assistant. For those of you still using WordPress that have decided you don't like AI and you don't want to just tell it to build you a website, you want to actually like go and build it yourself, like a jackwagon. WordPress has introduced Jetpack AI Assistant, an AI plugin that generates, I said it again, plugin that generates and edits text directly within WordPress interfaces. The tool is described as a creative writing partner that streamlines content creation by generating diverse content and providing diverse content. That sounds like burstiness and perplexity to me. Anyway, it provides options to adjust both tone and style. It can summarize blog posts, correct grammar and spelling, translate languages, and more. Which none of these individual things are all that interesting, except that it's just another rollout, another iteration. Cool. So, gosh, AI happens fast. Okay, we need to probably discuss these layoffs because man, this is getting stupid. Okay, let me move my little graph over here because as we talk about this, sheesh. Let me get that banner out of the way for you. Okay, banner, gone. Okay, let's talk about these layoffs. This is a comprehensive, well, what you're seeing is like a graph that represents a comprehensive list of 2023 tech layoffs from Google, Amazon, Microsoft to smaller and medium-sized fintech startups and apps and things like this. So the layoffs have come from pretty much like every name. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Yahoo, Meta, Zoom, smaller companies that you've never even heard of. And it's kind of the common thing. The layoffs are starting to help us understand what the implications are and the impact of innovation and AI and the streamlining of code writing and things like that. So humans will get kind of obsoleted. I think that's okay. This is like any other boom in a new technology. When you have humans that do a thing and then the robot does a thing or the software does a thing, you don't need the person. The person is redundant. One of the two of you is redundant. And of the two of you, software or human, the software doesn't call in sick, lazy, drunk, angry, come in frustrated, or bring a shotgun to the workplace. Not that we have workplaces anymore, because those are a thing in the past as well. Anyway, The running total of layoffs for 2023 based on full month to date is 168,243. And this is a few days ago, so I'm sure more people have been fired. January, 84,714 employees laid off. February, 36,491. March, 37,109. April, 17,926. May, 14,555. In June, June, Spotify is going to cut 200 jobs. There they go. Tax Fix nuked 120%, 20%, which is 120 of their employees. Meta announced May 24th that it's laying off 6,000 people, in total 21,000 people since November at Meta. Geomart, there's another 1,000 people gone. Adding, I think they're taking off another 9,900. It's going to be around 11,000 when it's all done. Krebs Stamos Group, add a couple of people there, but those are some high earners. So that could be other things too, not just strictly tech. Too Simple, 550 there. They have another 220 coming. Neuro is laying off about 340 employees. LinkedIn, 716 jobs, another 250. You're going to get waxed. You just go through the list and it's just like over and over and over. You say, well, why? Well, I mean, it's kind of a cool chart. I mean, cool. It represents like these people like not working anymore. But I mean, it's kind of, you see this. That's Google. That's Amazon. 18,000. Now you say, oh, those is all seasonal. That's not what they said. They said they overbought warehouses and warehouse space. I mean, just go through the list. 19,000. Accenture. By the way, for those of you that are like, XRP is going to rule the world because Accenture. That's the same Accenture. So, yeah. Disney. Yeah, think theme parks. Think back end. I mean, come on, bro. You don't have to be a genius. Lyft, that's interesting. Who's driving those damn cars? Another 9,000. In April, another 9,000 from Amazon. Wait a minute. It was seasonal. It was it. No, man. It is what it is. We live in a crazy world. And in this crazy world, technology is starting to do, stuff that redundant humans do. And I know people are like, no, I'm original. I'm a unique snowflake. Great. Snowflake, you melted. None of us, me included, especially me, we're just not that unique. We're not that interesting. So hopefully you guys have that fire, kind of the fire under your seat to do what makes sense right now. Keep your mind 15 months ahead. You got to make money now, bro. You have to make as much currency units now because it may just be that what you do is not an employable thing a year from now or 2 years from now or 5 years from now. It just isn't. And yeah, Joseph, I tend to agree. Part-time jobs. We are clearly in a recession, but I would raise you one where you say failed, terrible monetary policy. I would say one better. It's non-existent. You can't do monetary policy if you don't do money, and the Fed don't do money. Now, you can extrapolate that to other countries that do have central banks, but the Fed don't do money. And since the Fed don't do money, you can't do monetary policy. You can't pay your kids. I don't have kids, but you can't pay kids to mow your yard in monopoly money. They're going to be like, "You're a fool, mister. We're going to destroy whatever." Like, right? Like, money. You have to have money for monetary policy, and they don't feel like they need to use that. And yes, and then they do the revisions, and no one ever talks about the revisions. It's so ridiculous. It's just such an obvious, it's like a pump and dump. And yet, on the other side of the equation, they will trash talk. Like, it's not just crypto. They go after every market. Every single market they can. Let me click over here. Every market that is not U.S. Treasury, like every market's bad. Every market's dirty. Everyone's dirty. Calm down, Elizabeth Warren. Anyway, so I want to talk just for a bit. Let's spend 2 or 3 minutes, just a few little 2 or 3 minutes, and let's talk cash, crypto, and good old Americana, Elizabeth Warren. Okay. And this is I'm paraphrasing from an article I read, an opinion piece by Jim Rice. It's kind of an editorial. I guess that's an opinion. It was about a week ago or either maybe Sunday. It was really funny. And so I kind of paraphrased because I kind of like the way that Jim kind of worded this. So banknotes, they may seem innocent, but banknotes could care less about who owns them. A banknote is just, a piece of paper. It has no opinions, man. Right? So let's keep that in mind. All right. Take a $20 bill, for instance. It doesn't bat an eye whether you're using it to fill up your car, to bribe a border officer, which I've done, by the way, in going from Bosnia to Serbia. Never mind. I don't recommend doing it. And if you do it, just fold the money up and put it in your passport. Don't say anything. Don't try to be clever. Just put the money in your passport. And if they look at it funny, don't just stare at them. Don't respond. Just stare at them. Maybe nod. Just stare at them. Don't say anything. It's not bribery until you say something, and they'll always take it. Anyway, 100 euros gets you across almost any border. All right. Money doesn't care if it ends up getting rolled up and being used to snort meth, like my grandmother. That is not investment advice. Believe it or not, the U.S. government isn't plotting to ban cash. Right? That would be completely stupid. That would be pure stupidity. And not even Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen's love child would be that asinine. Sure, cash can be involved in criminal activities, but you don't blame the cash itself. Criminals are criminals. Criminals do crime. Money don't do crime, right? Criminals sometimes use cash, which has led us to put limits on how much cash you can carry around crossing borders, say, or in a duffel bag. This makes life a bit harder for the bad guys, but it doesn't overly convenience the rest of us who just want to buy stuff with, paper monies, which I don't know if anybody does that anymore. So hopefully you see where I'm going with this. Some of the people in Congress haven't quite caught on to this kind of fourth grade analogy yet, but here we go. Ready? Now let's make the shift. Crypto, the enigmatic cousin of cash. Crypto has zero intentions. It is like a robot that does not care who owns it. And guess what? No one in the US really wants to ban crypto. Why? Well, because that would be ridiculously dumb. Oh, wait. Elizabeth Warren, I see your hand is raised in the back. Please sit down and be quiet. Put your dentures back in, gobble up that Geritol, and be quiet for a second. Crypto can be used like any other currency, any currency unit, anything. Widgets. Freaking widgets, carved cows and porcelain pigs can be used for naughty deeds. They can be used like cash. Anything that can be traded to dissolve a debt or settle a debt is money. So that doesn't make porcelain pigs criminal. It doesn't make crypto criminal. It doesn't make money criminal. You guys get the idea. So which form of monetary unit or traded good is used in order to exit a crime? That is not the criminal. The criminal perpetrating the crime is the criminal. So none of this is unique. The real story, I think, is the crime, not the way the crime is paid out. Truth is, criminals need to exchange value, right? Just like the rest of us. We work for a living. Some people criminal for a living. Man, they got to be able to, how are they going to afford their McLarens? If not, for some monetary unit. So they'll use cash when it's convenient. They'll use diamonds. They'll use bearer bonds. They'll use cryptocurrency. Sometimes they'll use widgets. Sometimes they'll use porcelain pigs. It's hard to say. They'll trade secrets. They'll trade weapons. They'll trade death. They'll human traffic. They'll do criminally stuff because, criminals are the troublemakers. They're the ones doing criminal stuff. It's not only the shiny objects that they trade. And people, sometimes simpler people, they just go, crypto's for crime. Guess what? The most criminal activity in human history has been perpetrated with cash, US dollars, $100 bills. I mean, in history, not even arguable, not even close. Like nothing gets close to the US dollar in the amount of death it has caused. But it's not the dollar's fault, right? Worldwide currency. So remember, criminals bad, money not bad. You think about like the story of Noah's Ark. It's not about water molecules, the evil of water molecules. It's about the reason for the flood. You're like, we hate water. No, you missed it. Elizabeth, you got the wrong thing out of that story. So when Elizabeth Warren jumps on her hyperbolic bandwagon claiming that crypto fuels the fentanyl trade, you guys heard that, right? This stuff's so dumb. You just want to like shake her and be like, wake up, bro. She was claiming that crypto fuels fentanyl trade. You can assume it is as dumb as it sounds. And I don't think she's completely foolish. I mean, I would hope. What does that say about our democracy if she wins election after election? She keeps getting reelected, right? Like, so either she is a fool or she is not. I choose to think she's not a fool. So then we have to assume that there is some ulterior motive for spewing a bunch of nonsense. And that makes her, that kind of makes her a borderline criminal. But we will defer that point for now. So it's true that, yes, some criminals, they do find themselves using crypto. Yes, they use crypto in their mischief. Senator Warren knows full well that criminals also use cash, credit cards, offshore bank transfers, whatever else they can get their hands on. Even porcelain. I don't know about porcelain pigs. I'm not sure if that's actually been used in a crime, but I feel like it probably has, like in Arkansas or Alabama, where the porcelain pig trade is probably very vibrant. Anyway, blockchain is the worst place to pull scams because there's a record of everything you do forever. In perpetuity is a phrase that a lot of criminals are going to learn when they're sitting in court having all of their transactions read back to them on a screen. They're like, here, 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 and here, dummies. So this is a message to any criminals that might watch this. Don't use crypto, stupid. You're definitely busted. At least if you have some dirty cash in a duffel bag, you can like run for it or like throw the cash at the cops and like dive into the water or whatever. You can't do that with the crypto. You are absolutely busted. So perhaps even some of these criminals, supporters of democracy who have contributed to Elizabeth Warren's reelection campaign have used various forms of currency units to promulgate their own various sordid enterprises, right? I would be interested to know if all of the money she got is legitimate and how was she paid? And if that was illegitimate, is it the money's fault that people gave her dirty money and reelected her and gives her $15,000 to $25,000 to come to a luncheon? Get off the gas. Some of these currency units that came from, criminal democracy-seeking behavior, like the Reelect Elizabeth Warren campaign, probably have their roots in nefarious activities. So I don't know if she considers those units of currency tainted, though, because she doesn't get paid in crypto, probably. So anyway, I guess she can sleep better knowing the fentanyl trade has been choked over the last 3 or 4 days because the market's quiet. Less crypto market transaction, less fentanyl trade. The hillbillies will live. Crypto like cash, like all this, it's all a neutral medium of exchange. Some people accept, some people don't. It doesn't matter. Crypto is a neutral technology. People can be good or bad, or they can sometimes kind of waffle back and forth. Or they can just be stupid. There's a lot of that. Never ascribe malice when stupidity is probably a more likely answer. Take the fearmongers who claim that banning crypto would magically eradicate the fentanyl trade. So, look, I grew up, I was real little, but I remember my dad was like, I want you to watch the Iran-Contra hearings. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't recall them talking about using crypto. I do recall, lying to Congress and then like starting up like a secret war in order to fund another war, and using like cocaine, and like starting a huge like global epidemic starting in Los Angeles. And that was all run out of the CIA. I mean, I do remember those things. And you know what's funny? Not one time was Bitcoin mentioned. Huh. Weird. So, but anyway, thank God we have Elizabeth to keep us in line. Anyway, stay in school. For those of you that want to dig in deeper, we'll be doing it tomorrow in the digital heavyweights. Same bat time, behind the wall. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything that my poor, insolvent, drunk, strung on meth grandmother wouldn't do. And as you know, that is very little. E-Meg, I want to thank you again for being badass. For those of you that were asking, why do I have the little the little bumper for Bitcoin IRA? Because Chris, my buddy, who we have coffee in the mornings, he is the dude. He's the man at Bitcoin IRA, and those guys are cool, and they're not thieves, and I like them. So there. And I also do have people that hit me up with questions about IRAs and stuff like that. Anyway, so there you go. There's my answer. Be smart, man. To quit. Don't. If you have, God, I go into a whole thing about gurus and how stupid. Anyway, just be smart, right? Ask questions. Don't outsource your thinking. That's going to be a fail. Just slow down. Don't fat thumb anything. And don't, by the way, don't have that new olive oil freaking infused drink. It tastes like dirt. Blech.